Hi, welcome to Ask Dawn and Donna. So today we want to talk about fathers. Yesterday was June 21st, 2020, and it was a big day in the whole universe. It was Father's Day, but it was also the summer solstice, a solar eclipse. It went into Cancer and there was a new moon. So we have all these like transformative energies that have a lot to do with our foundation and restructuring and birth and rebirth. And in light of Father's Day, we want to have a conversation about what our relationships are with our fathers, which is our primary male figure, and how that influences our current relationships, our view of men, and our view of ourselves, whether it becomes self-esteem, what we strive for, what we want appreciation and love for, and healing that primary relationship you have with your father, if it isn't already healed, is a really important, in my view, important aspect of your journey to a higher vibration, a higher being, and just being a whole person. And we want to talk about both of our father's relationships that we have, and really how the divine masculine, honoring that in different ways, and how it shows up in our lives in different ways, and also about forgiving our fathers, and also forgiving ourselves in that process. So Donna, I'd like you to speak about your father, or anything you'd like to say about Father's Day and forgiveness.
Yeah, we pretty much block it out of my mind that it even is Father's Day, which is kind of sad. Our gift is estrangement. I haven't spoken to my father since I was 26. That was just a little while ago. And and he stopped speaking to his family when he was 25. And because they were Protestant and my mom was Catholic. Yeah, that really made sense. And and my parents divorced when I was 15. And I made him the other, the wrong, and vilified him in a lot of ways, even though I'm the most like him. He was a very sensitive soul. Life was not easy for him. His long line of families and where he'd come from, and I now understand that perspective. And forgiving him has allowed me to fully embrace my divine feminine. To say that I was a little scrappy and a lot of work is kind of putting it mildly. I used to be very unkind to men. And all that has shifted a lot. And it started with forgiving him. And then the soul awakening method work around the divine masculine has turned out to be a greater theme in my life than ever before. And I actually feel prepared for a healthy, whole relationship with a loving man that, is his divine masculine, and that I'm going to want to do his laundry.
You will. It'll be great.
I know, it's the little things. I'm excited about that possibility, truly, because I'm only 48 next month. And it's been very unhealthy, very, very unhealthy. I've dated a lot of twin flames that taught me things, and boy, it was rough. And I forgive them too. I forgive all of them too. Even though I was sure I was supposed to write a book about bad dating.
You always can. That would be
it'd be entertaining, to say the least. Yes.
Isn't that why we date, for the stories afterwards to tell us?
Is that why we date?
Sometimes.
I believed in the white horse to the nth degree. Very naive. And I no longer have that either. I know that anything that I want or need from a man, I have to give to myself first.
That is so true. That is really where the relationship starts to be fun. Like when I got married, I wanted him to fulfill some things that I either didn't have, or expectations of how to be treated and loved, and what I wanted to be different in my relationship than what my parents were.
Mm.
And all that did is create some animosity and fights. And it's unrealistic. It was unrealistic for me to demand that my husband or partner fulfill these things that are insatiable. I had to give to myself. It was my relationship with my father that I had to heal, and only I could. When I got married, my father had probably passed away a year before we got married. So,
Oh.
and when my husband, we were dating, met him, he had me and my father had always on and off, like sometimes we really would talk, and other times I was like, whatever. This was at a time where we hadn't really talked, and I was like, forget it. And then I got a call that he was in the hospital and he had a brain injury. So for 3 months, he was nonverbal. So I was like, okay, I can either be a total B and an awful child and not go and rectify and be there for my father and my stepmother and everyone. And I did it not out of guilt. I did it because, like, when he dies, I don't want to have any guilt. I don't want to think I should have, or I could have, or why didn't I? I wanted to have none of that. Because grieving the loss of my father was really like, okay, now I'm an orphan in that sense. My mother's still alive, but I don't have a father anymore. I have to parent myself. So I went there and they talked, and it was really some of the most beautiful times that I had with him. And I did it for myself, but I also, because I wanted to mend the relationship. And then not till after I had a spiritual teacher a couple of years later tell me that is like the most fundamental relationship that you have. And to get right with your father or your mother is the best thing you could do if you want to, like, evolve your life and grow and take responsibility. And he really did instill in me that even though I wanted a level of respect and I have the list of how I wanted to be treated, really that's not my father's job to do that. My father's job is to parent me, and it's my job to respect and love him. And that's it. Not expect consciousness, not expect a different way of being, not to help him out, not to do this thing. My job only is to love and respect him. And that's what I did in the end. And that changed my relationship with my husband, because he has his own stuff. I have my own. And until I healed that part of me, I couldn't do the laundry. I wanted it to be the same, not equal, the same. I wanted the same amount of energy in. And I thought that would make my view of men different, or I would get love in that way. And which was, he loves me in his own way, which I will never know. Same with my father. I will never know how much he loved me. I only can filter it through a childlike of not getting, whatever your limited perception as like a 5-year-old. Whatever he did to me then that made me think like he was against me or didn't love me or whatever I believed. I can't even remember now, but those are some common things. Or not being heard by him. Right. I'm like, okay, I'm 48 years old. I have a whole world of things in my life. And not until I really was an adult did I see my parents have struggles, and they have different, as a child, you just think it's one way.
You do. Yeah.
And really the forgiveness is helped me embrace the aspects and the part of my father that when I would go through bouts of not liking him or disliking him or thinking he was the worst or whatever, I was doing that to myself, disliking myself, hating myself, thinking he is the worst. Part of who I am in my DNA. And that's where I think the work you were talking about is so powerful, is because it can heal lineages and ancestral sort of patterns of things that affect us, and we don't even know how, on the level that it affects us so much. It seems like it doesn't affect us, or that's coincidental. But really our soul's journey to heal these things and to become whole and embrace that divine masculine in whether you're a man or a woman is really very powerful.
Very powerful. Well, and I've always had an innate sense that I was very loved by my dad. I was the most like him. Um, and um, I really hope, my greatest hope is that I speak to him before he passes and that he knows how much I love him.
Oh, well, I think you can make that happen, Dawn. I think it's available for everyone to make happen, you know?
It's on the list. I've tried to find him actually, right? So he's still in Alberta
Oh, okay.
and I'm in British Columbia, and I have tried to find him. So I just don't have any contact info.
Oh,
So yeah, I feel like the divine is going to take care of it somehow. So
I think so. Even having this and speaking about it and it's videotaped somehow.
just saying the
Yeah.
words is the healing of its in and of itself. Knowing that there's a record of it out there, and the energy of that, me even being able to sit here with you and say, I love my dad, is huge.
Amazing. I feel it like that is, and declaring that even if it goes against what other people might have, not wanted you to declare or show your love. That's brave
Yeah.
to speak your truth really
Thank
is
you.
what it's all about. Whether people want you to or agree or think you should, like that's part of our whole thing here is to speak our truths about what we believe about our roles here. But also saying that you love your father and meaning it in a deep, profound way is very beautiful and touching. Hope it
Yeah,
inspires
I
others.
feel that.
Yeah. You
Okay, I'm a little verklempt.
that's what Father's Day is all
Could
about.
have brought the Kleenex.
But it's so profound. It is such a deep-rooted relationship. I didn't think for years certain things my father did affected me, like just his
Mm,
behaviors.
I
I'm like,
went through
oh,
that stage too. Yeah, it was all his fault.
all
Had
him.
nothing to do with me.
I
Yeah.
and he doesn't affect me, and I deny it. And
Yeah.
that was hilarious once I
The
really started.
blame shame game. Oh yeah. Oh, I was talented. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I looked at see how much we really are alike, and I was like, oh,
Damn.
oh.
Yeah, same. I'm the most like him for
Yeah. I'm like,
sure.
oh, well, that sucks. Sucks for me. Okay, well, how can I embrace those qualities in myself to honor him? And I think
Honor
that's been
him.
my, since he's passed, since I can't do anything else in a physical realm, is to really honor him by healing myself in ways that I know I need to heal, and even really balancing the masculine and feminine and wanting to do little things for my husband, like clean or cook. And it's not because I should or have to,
No.
but as a woman, as me, as I know, I want to nurture. It's my nature.
Mm.
And that is nurturing, that taking care of our environment, taking care of our house, taking care of him is what ultimately what I want to do.
Well,
All my ego stuff is in the way, like, no, he should stop. But
right.
not anymore. Like, no,
Right.
I want him to be the
It's
best that
an
he can.
expression of your love. It's an expression of your love. And isn't that what the divine masculine and divine feminine are? Is that
Mhm.
men can do things I can't do. I can do things men can't do. I still like to put together IKEA furniture, however, but you know, it is about that balance, that fine balance, and creating in the middle without taking away from each other. And
Mhm.
I really hope I get the opportunity to tell my dad while he's still here how much I love him.
I hope you get to too. I think that would mean so much for both of you.
Yeah.
So our message to everyone, if you didn't get it, it wasn't crystal clear. Do some work on yourself to heal whatever your masculine view is if whatever your judgments are or however your father has impacted you, if that needs healing, if your parents are around or your father, both of them, express your love, You never know when it's going to not be available to you. And also to forgive yourself, and look at how the ways of your father, how that relationship has impacted you. And if it is not what you wanted to do, find out a way to make it work for you, to make it what it is. Like, see the reality of it, and then use that reality to boost yourself up, other than keep yourself in a pinned, sort of down, stuck way. And if you have any questions for us, please email us at askdawnanddonna. And is there anything else I'm missing,
At
Dawn?
gmail.com.
Oh, at gmail.com. Thank
Yeah.
you. And links to our pages and the other things we do will be
Instagrams.
video, Instagrams, Facebooks, the whole social
The
media
stuff.
the things. And we look forward to seeing you again on our next video. I hope everyone had a great Father's Day. And no matter when you're watching this, it's never a bad time to celebrate your father and honor him, or grandparents, or grandfathers, or
Uncles.
fathers, uncles, the men in your life. Every day is a good day to send love and honor them and celebrate them. So we'll see you next time. Bye.